It worked. Krista and Darcie both know what I'm talking about. That intro, the first time I used it, didn't know what was going to happen there. If you're interested in learning about Northern New Jersey and or Darcie Hunter, you're in the right place. This is One Move There, Season 3, The Remix, with me, DerekBicksler, here in Harrisburg and Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and my co-host with the Mo-host, Mo-sost, Krista.Lorenzo in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then Darcie Hunter, like I said, below us out in Ringwood. Oh, I didn't change that. I just edited everything and missed that. In Northern New Jersey, but kind of focused. That's where you're actually at. Is that correct?
That's okay. I'm physically in Ringwood, so.
There you go. And we'll be talking to her in a second about her and the place that she lives and all the stuff. But Darcie, we have a thing we do to initiate people first. And Krista, today I got a new list, same website actually, but a new list. And I already read through them and already picked out a few that were lame or I didn't like for some reason or whatever. So pick a number, Darcie. And these are just random, the title, or I forget, wild card questions. So pick a number between 1 and 40, but not one of those numbers.
Okay, let's do 21.
21.
Age of my oldest kid.
I was just about to say the age every parent probably dreads. maybe not. My parents should have been. I don't know if they did enough. Anyhow, if you could have a giant billboard with anything on it, what would it say? I mean, this is perfect for realtors, but it does not need to be real estate related.
Yeah, we actually have them all over town on our ball fields. And it says teamwork makes the dream work, because we do have a team. And our philosophy is always to be like on team closing. We don't think it's us versus them in real estate. Some people do think that there's got to be a winner and a loser, but that's not really our philosophy. So I'm going to stick with that. That's what we have on our actual billboards, and it seems to work. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a real billboard to quote like that. I've thought about getting billboards before. It's a pretty big invest. I mean, it's a long time, and it's an invest. All of it is, I suppose. But
yeah. These are just small, but they're at the ball fields in town where everybody hangs out, and our kids do sports. So we're always there at the field. So they're like, "Oh, hey, I saw you today." So.
Nice.
I used to have,
hopefully they're correctly designed. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I used to have a banner, and it was like a caricature of myself. And it was when my girls played softball, and after games, like the whole team would go over and like pose with me and give me kisses and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun, but I've never done a billboard. I really want to do that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, the design of it too. We have a game with my kids, like the placemats in the restaurants, and billboards are always the same too. I'm like, pick out the good ad here, and I've trained them to pick out the good ad. And it's people don't use the whole space. They put like their logo and like a bunch of stuff that nobody cares. It should say real estate services or some tagline or like say what the thing is real big. Nobody knows what that is, or it's not even like nobody knows what your logo is. Why would you have a giant, like the logo and the name of your business, but I don't even know what you do? There should be a big picture of what you do and say it, and maybe some kind of offer or something. And then down at the bottom, like who it is, where to find it. Anyway.
I agree with you 100%. The only problem that I had with it was that for compliance reasons, of course, we had to have, all of these little doodads, and that took up way too much space for my liking. But, I just wanted name, phone number, real estate, basically. But, we had to stick some stuff on there. So,
absolutely.
Top real estate agent.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. So you're there.
Our soccer association. Oh. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you're there in New Jersey, but I know that you grew up in multiple states and multiple countries. Yeah, so I can't wait to hear about that. But Derek, do you want to finish your...
No, I was just going to rant about our soccer association signs that they just put up that say nothing. You drive past it and it's like, you can't, That's just like a bunch of gobbledygook. All right, go
All
ahead.
right, then we're moving on to Darcie and where she grew up.
Yes.
All righty. Yep. So let's see. I started, my early childhood just in one location. We were on Long Island in New York. So I still have a good network of agents that I refer people to over there and everything. Loved growing up there. Loved the beach. That was definitely the scene growing up. But when I was a senior in high school, my husband was a senior in college, we met. And then we ended up moving around quite a bit. So I went to University of Delaware. As soon as I finished there, we moved down to New Orleans. So we were down there for a couple of years. We got married. 6 months after we got married, we moved straight overseas to South Korea. We were there for about 5 years. My oldest, I got pregnant with him when I was over there. I came back to New Jersey to have him. So he was born in New Jersey by my parents. I had to stay by my parents for quite a few months because you can't fly when you're like 9 months pregnant. So you have to come back when you're 7 months pregnant and wait it out. Yeah. So I waited it out at mom and dad's house and then flew back to South Korea. My second child, I still lived in Korea, but I did not want to go through that again. So I just had her there. So she was born in South Korea, which is a fun fact about my daughter, which is always, people are puzzled by that because she's not Korean, she's Korean at all. So she was born there. And then shortly thereafter, we moved down to Texas, which is very culturally different. We were there for about 5 years. I had number 3 while we were living down there. And then we got transferred to 3 countries in succession from there. So from there, we moved to Doha, Qatar. We were there for less than a year. Then we were on to Perth, Australia, which I think is one of the most magical places on earth.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, we were in Shanghai, China for a couple of years also. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Did you or the kids speak any of these languages?
Yeah. So, Australian's pretty easy to learn,
Yeah.
right? they do have a few words. But the Middle East, when we were there, that was super, super international. In fact, that country, Qatar, they are a minority in their own country because there's so many foreigners there. Wow. So that was totally English based. But in Shanghai, my kids both took about 40 minutes a day. My older kids, they were in an international school. They took 40 minutes a day of Chinese. So they got to know it pretty well. And then my youngest went to a dual streamed preschool. So they actually did like the same lesson one day in English and one day in Chinese. So he was pretty good, but he was stubborn. He wouldn't speak Chinese, but he understood it. So
that's so cool.
Yeah. So
they say when they're young, it's the best time to learn,
Absolutely.
And it's so much easier to absorb it when they're younger like that.
Yeah, definitely. Little sponges. So we got transferred back to my husband's Manhattan office. And, as soon as my parents live, this is like commutable to Manhattan. So we're like, if there was no traffic in a dream world, it would take about 45 minutes to get into the city.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got an express bus that runs from our town straight in. So we jumped at the chance to live in where my parents were, their hometown, when my husband got transferred to the New York City office. So we've been here for not quite 10 years yet, but, we settled in, and I first started in real estate as an office admin for a local office, and it was great because the hours were the same exact hours as my youngest school day. But then I was watching the other agents making money, and I said, "Ooh, that's even more flexible. I can do that." So I got my license, and I've just been going since then. I'm always constantly educating. So I got my broker license last year, and teamed up, and I have a small team now. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So and you have the 3 kids are 14, 20, and 21?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And so you have a good mix of boys and girls, just like Derek does.
Yep. I'll get a sandwich, boy, girl, boy.
Yeah. And like me, your favorite food is chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
So I was very excited when I read that in your bio. And your favorite color is black because it goes with everything.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm actually not wearing black today.
I wore it for you.
There you go.
Oh, I was going to say, where'd Derek go?
We
lost you there for a second.
Smash this computer, this internet. And now this effect is terrible. That doesn't have to do with the internet, but technical difficulties. I switched internet. Well, I've probably, if I watch the episodes back, I've probably said it. Didn't I drop out last one? It's really getting annoying now.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow.
Yeah. You came back faster this time.
Did I? It seems like eternity. I'm like ready to throw the screen across the wherever you're at. You can keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just going to tell Darcie that you and I both vacationed in New Jersey this summer.
Oh,
so
nice.
We both were not at the same time. I was there in June. I think you were just July. So we both went to Cape May, and I think a very Pennsylvania thing to do. Growing up, so Derek's like in the middle of Pennsylvania, and I'm all the way on the west. And that was just where we went. We always went to like Stone Harbor, Avalon, because we didn't like, everyone drove on road trips back then. So I hadn't been back there in probably 30. Oh my goodness, that makes me sound really old. I hadn't been back there in 30 years. And it was just as adorable. And those, beach towns all the way along there are amazing.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. We took, I have a travel trailer. So
the Cape May sign looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
I'm overlapping with my bad internet.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right.
You go.
Yeah, no, we have a travel trailer, so we spent a couple of times down there, and it's really beautiful. I love it. A lot of people from this section of North Jersey where we are, we have a lot of lakes here, so that's really the summer focus in this area. But that said, there are tons of people that have shore houses, and Long Beach Island is a popular choice, and Seaside, if you want to just go down for a day, it's a little closer to up here. So
yes. Yeah, we stopped in Seaside too.
Awesome.
My daughter's boyfriend, he lives in Philly. And so they always, actually, she just flew to Philly today to go to the Jersey Shore again with them for their family vacation.
Yeah.
And right on the boardwalk there in Seattle, there's a place called like James's Fudge. I think that's the name of it, James's Fudge. And like all the kids growing up in Philly would like go and work in the summer and different things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We've got tons of, that's the thing I love about New Jersey. We've got the shore, you're still commutable to Manhattan. You've got like the Highlands kind of area where I am, where there's tons of hiking and outdoor activities like that. So, we've got a little something for everybody, which is why I think it's really such a popular state. So.
Oh, yeah. I think it's an amazing location, especially being there in the north. You're so accessible to Pennsylvania, New York, and then going all along the coast.
Yep, absolutely. And we have the skiing too. So, about 40 minutes or so from me, we've got like a small ski mountain, and, it's nothing to write home about, but, for kids that want to practice, it gets the job done. So we usually get a season pass over there, and my son snowboards, and, it's reasonable enough. We drop the kids off. They spend a few hours. I do ski, but not as much as I used to, but
yeah,
I try.
So it's actually, the ski place is in New Jersey?
It's actually over the border into New York.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the Warwick area. So we're, depending on which section of Ringwood you live in, I also do a lot of business in West Milford. You can be 20, 25 minutes up to 40 minutes, depending, on exactly where you live from a decent ski mountain. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I know Derek has a map that we're going to look at, but I don't even know if Derek is still there. Oh, there he is.
It looks a little better now.
There we go. Do you see your other self over there?
There's two, and now there's more of me. Awesome.
He's in physical agony right
and
now.
there's no way to get it. Well, can I remove this, Derek? Get out of here. Remove. There we go.
There we go.
That's better, I guess. All right, let's give it a try. I have to, every time I get kicked out, I got to share my thing and find my shared screen again. Ugh. All right.
Better Wi-Fi, sir.
It was supposed to be, yeah. I just don't feel like I gotta like do the whole thing to sweat. Like I just don't.
I don't like doing anything with cable or Wi-Fi. It's the worst.
Yeah, you got to schedule it and wait. It's not that big, but like it is like an hour probably of me like figuring it out and setting it up and then waiting and doing it. And then hopefully like that one wasn't the greatest either. That's why I switched to the one that was supposed to be better. All right, here's Ringwood.
Yay!
Yep.
So I don't even know what you were talking about. We got the map up now. You tell me what to do.
Yeah. We were talking about how in northern Jersey, it's a lot more lakes than necessarily beachy, and how you can go north into New York to ski. So I wanted the map so I could like get a good visual of it all.
Yeah, you got a good view of it now. You can definitely see how much blue is on our map and also how much green. So, compared to some of the more urban areas in North Jersey, we are like, our town, I think, is like between 70 and 80% parkland. So we also have watershed. So we're kind of like the stewards for the water of the Newark area. We've got a reservoir that's really huge here. So all of our lakes in this immediate area are like quiet paddleboard type lakes. You go kayaking and things like that. They have memberships, so you can join there, and then they have activities for the kids and adult activities like horseshoes and cornhole tournaments and stuff like that. So very fun.
What does watershed mean?
Yeah, so I mean, it's like the Highlands Preservation Area, and there's just so many aquifers and wetlands and things in our area. It's not floody though. Like I have to say, like I don't think there's anywhere in Ringwood that I'm aware of that's considered a flood zone that you have to get flood insurance for. But for sure, nearby towns, and that's why a local realtor really helps here, because there are definitely a lot of little floody areas to be aware of when you're buying.
Yes. These pictures look like an area Derek would love.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely a nature lover's paradise. And, it's amazing that we still have all of this stuff and you can still get an express bus to the city. So.
Yeah, I had no idea that this is what northern New Jersey was like. My only Jersey Shores, my only Jersey knowledge. So I'm super excited to learn all about it.
It is the Garden State, right? I always forget that.
It is.
Yeah. I never put that together.
Yeah, it's like the names of towns we were talking about the one time. Like everything's named after something, but you never think about it, and you're like, oh, it's John Harris. That's why it was called Harrisburg. There's just words, and like you don't really think about it. How far is the Hudson River? How far is that to get over there?
I'm thinking it's like probably a 40-minute drive or so from us. We do border, so you can see like the top half of Ringwood. There's a stark line there, and that's New York State right over the border.
Oh, so it's really north.
Really north. We're like as far north and kind of west as you can get. Like really 5 minutes. The next town over, Tuxedo, New York, is our little border. So. Yeah, we're right along there. I thought about getting my New York license, but I usually just refer business out if people start looking there. We have in West Milford, there's Greenwood Lake. So that's on the New Jersey and the New York side. So a lot of times if people are looking for a lake house on Greenwood Lake, they will, skip over to the New York side pretty easily because it's right there. So. But that's a motorboat lake. That's a much bigger lake, and there's a lot more marinas and things like that there.
That was going to be my exact question. Can you have bigger, can you have speedboats even on it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they get
cigarette boats. Is that what those are called?
I don't know if there's
really
a limit,
what
the limit is, but you see some bigger boats over there for sure.
So definitely lots of outdoor activities.
Oh yeah, we're definitely all about that. So, and it's not really I would say most of the people, I think I saw the stat somewhere that 95% of the homes are, owner occupied. They're not rentals. So it's very uncommon to get a rental property here. They're almost all single family homes. There's a couple of condos in the next town over in Wanacue. So that's available, but there's really, because of the Highlands restrictions to building in our area, there's really not a lot of construction, and our taxes are a little bit on the high side because it's all borne by the homeowners as opposed to businesses. We do not have a lot of businesses in Ringwood. So I like to call it the nature tax. You're paying for nature.
Yeah.
If you want nature and no businesses, this is the place.
So what about like your closest Whole Foods or Trader Joe's?
Only about 20 minutes away.
So that's not bad. That's the same for me.
Yeah. We're really close to Wayne, New Jersey, which is a big like shopping hub kind of, and that's where like all my doctors and stuff are there. So I'm usually driving out of town. We do have in our town like all the necessities. We've got a grocery store, CVS, stuff like that. A couple of pizza places, but it's definitely, driving around to get to some of those bigger box stores, Costco's, things like that.
Right. What about like restaurants? Do a lot of people eat out, or is it more like mom and pop type places?
They're definitely mom and pop. The only chain that we have in town is Dunkin' Donuts, and that's just you get your drive-through coffee and go. But nearby, like I said, within 10 minutes, there's a McDonald's. Within, 20, 25 minutes, you've got all your other like big chain restaurants and things like that.
Yeah. So what's your real estate market there like, since it's mostly owner occupied, mostly single family, how like do things sell quickly? Are they a little slower because it's a little smaller?
Yeah, we have had low inventory for the past, I don't know, probably 5 years at least. It started before COVID, really. It's a pretty popular area. I would say if it's a good product and well priced, then the house is going to fly off the shelves. But we're just these last probably 2 months, the market is definitely starting to shift where if you miss the mark on pricing or the house is not great for some reason, if there's a smell or something like that, they're definitely starting to sit, and we're seeing more into the 30 to 60 day range. Again, like a year ago, we had like 4 houses on the market. Literally, it was crazy. But now we have about 20 today. I just looked. So we're getting up there with more selection.
Yeah.
But as the interest rates tick down a little bit, it's going to get right back up there. I think we have a 2-week lull before school starts, and then people are going to be out there again hitting the market.
Yes. So. I always tell people August is just a smidge slower with everyone getting those last minute vacations and getting ready to go back to school. But I feel like as soon as we get Labor Day weekend, it pops right back up.
Yeah, I think it will. So
yeah.
It's been slow and steady though. Buyers have had a hard time. It's you're writing 6 or 7 offers before something finally gets accepted, but the sellers have been in the driver's seat, but it's starting to soften a little bit and get a little easier for buyers, which is welcome news, really. So.
Yes. Yeah. We're seeing that a little bit too. How about you, Derek?
Still strong sellers market, multiple offers, but not, like 2 to 5, not 30 or 40. And that's only on like the good ones and the good places or whatever. If it's a junker or overpriced, actually, I have a flipper right now. It's a junker, but the marketing says flipper, pool. It lists everything that needs done to it. Pool needs removed. It needs this. It's like, there's no hiding it. It is what it is. So I want to attract but anyway, if it's priced right, like that could go fast too. I think it's priced fairly, or I tried to anyway. But still a seller's market. I think in the Northeast, the older places that are more kind of developed and you can't build any more stuff. It's kind of like it's always going to be a seller's market. It's the places like Texas or Florida or where they're like lots of new construction, and we still do here, like in the town adjacent where I used to live, where my kids still half live, where they go to school. That used to be a tiny little town. Now it's like there's farmland that can be built out, but people fight it. And I don't know. I'm for the fighting because it's our nice little town. As long as it's like somebody else's town, that's cool. But as soon as it's like ours, like, nah, I don't know. Then we gotta have a bigger class of students and like, nah, never mind. But yeah, seller's market will be for the foreseeable future here, I think, but not crazy. Yeah. Rates could change that.
True. They always can. Yeah. So since you're mostly mom and pop, are there any like special foods or unique things that are popular in that area?
So, well, there's the classic New Jersey battle, which is Taylor ham versus pork roll. So that's like basically it's like Spam. It's a kind of ham that they cut and fry, and then they put that with your egg and cheese sandwich in the morning. So that's like a classic Jersey dish.
I had pork roll in June.
It's Taylor ham, though. It's Taylor ham.
But I've never had Taylor ham.
It's the same thing. It's literally, if you buy a roll, if you buy it, it literally says pork roll Taylor ham on the container. So I don't know why there's such a battle, but like North Jersey is definitely like Taylor ham zone and South Jersey is pork roll zone. I don't know why.
Okay. I had my sandwich in Avalon.
Okay.
So is that South?
Yeah, that's South. Now, some people believe in Central Jersey as well.
Oh, okay.
But the lines are all very fuzzy. You know, it's like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it was delicious.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's just one of those little unhealthy little treats that you get every once in a while. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's not a particular type of seafood or anything special like that. It's just kind of normal New Jersey. I guess pizza, North Jersey is really known for pizza. And certainly, in Bergen County, there's so many nice restaurants there. And, usually in Ringwood, when we want to go out to eat, we're usually like for a nice meal, we're going like 25 minutes or so to like a really nice, and anything you could ever want. We're so diverse in New Jersey. So you've got, Thai, Indian, just whatever you want to eat. We've got it all. So,
yeah. We noticed that whenever we were in South Jersey, that there was a little bit of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my son goes to Rutgers, which is in New Brunswick, which is about an hour and 15 from me. And that is truly one of the most diverse places I've ever been. I mean, his campus is just bustling with people from all over the world, and their food selections over there are really, really good. So
that's how my daughter's, one just graduated, but the other one still goes to University of Pittsburgh, and they have the best food choices around there, just like with different countries and all kinds of different places. And I'm like, you guys don't realize how lucky you are to have all this good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So one of the other things that I love about, Ringwood where I am is, I mean, if I only did business in Ringwood, I'd be out of business soon, considering the volume. And we just don't have that many. There's like 4,000 around houses in Ringwood. So, how many of those are going to turn over every year? So we're constantly driving. We'll go as far west as Vernon, which is like close to the ski areas that I was telling you about. And then on the other side, Bergen County is really, some of the most high dollar zip codes in the United States, and for good reason. I mean, you've got train lines that go direct into Manhattan from there. My office is in Ridgewood, which is in Bergen County. So it's about half an hour. So I usually go in like 2 to 3 days a week to do my, paperwork or team meetings and things like that. But I actually love going into something that's a little more hustle and bustle.
Yes.
And I think that people who maybe work there, maybe there's a lot of like corporate offices and things in Mahwah and Ridgewood. So if somebody wants to kind of get away from that, we're like the perfect little enclave, so
yes,
the best of both worlds. You can work or go out to eat someplace busy and then come back and let your blood pressure come down.
Yeah.
That's what my husband used to say. He was on the 196 bus from Manhattan, and he said, as soon as I get to the top of Skyline Drive, which is our big road that runs into town, he said I could just feel my blood pressure coming down, see all the trees and everything. So
sometimes that commute, like everyone after COVID said, oh, it's so wonderful without the commute, but sometimes that commute is a good division between home and work to kind of decompress and be ready to relax or ready to work.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Sometimes you need that little buffer, right? To like change moods in your mind and come home and, put on the other hat and be in family mode. So
for sure.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah.
I'm scared to even chime in here, guys, ladies, because I know as soon as I talk, it's going to cut out or something.
I know, this is the quietest you've
and I don't know
been.
What you've already asked while I'm gone. It's probably only like a couple minutes and I'm overreacting maybe, but so I'm out of the flow and not unique. That I always push for, like, are there any unique things? Like if I Google Ringwood, special, unique things or something. Is there anything that like Google wouldn't tell me that an insider, you'd have to talk to somebody from there to know about or something? Or
well, I just think it's like a hidden gem. Like even the locals, so many people leave Ringwood, during college and the first couple of years, and then they move back when they're ready to have kids, because our lakes are just so awesome. I mean, it's like everybody looks out for each other. There's kids clubs and activities for them to do. So like we're also ranked as one of the safest. I know we're not supposed to hook demographics, but everybody can look it up online. It's one of the considered one of the safest towns in New Jersey. So it really is like a hidden gem. Like even people from Bergen County, like they don't realize that the commute is that reasonable. And our house prices are like, you can get a nice house for like 500,000, which the same house 30 minutes closer to the city is going to cost you $1 million plus.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so if you're looking for something affordable, you have to add a little time to your commute, but it's certainly doable.
Right.
Yeah.
And sounds like it's worth it.
I think so. I mean, of course I'm biased, but, and I do go into those other towns in Bergen County and certainly sell there, but Ringwood's my favorite. It's where I picked to live. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you might have already asked this, but so people live there. You kind of already answered it. People do live there full time. It's not like or is it also like a getaway place that non-residents and residents or part-time residents or whatever?
No, that's a great question, because I get a lot of people looking for lake houses. And so a few things about it is most of the people do live here full time. You don't see a lot of people that are just coming on the weekends. And we also have an ordinance that you can't have Airbnbs in our town. So yeah, so from an investment point of view, that's kind of off the table. But neighboring towns like West Milford, you're allowed to do Airbnbs there, and they do have lakes. So there's a few more communities on that side where if you wanted that kind of investment property, and that area is really suited to it as well, because it's also close to the ski and apple picking. So if you did buy that as an investor, you would have kind of year round, people visiting for different reasons. So yeah. But Ringwood, we like
snow up there, obviously. So is there a thought with all that water? Is there, and one of the pictures, I think the main picture looked like a run, which is water going down a mountain, looked like a thaw run in the main picture of Ringwood. Is there kind of like a mountain kayaking or like kayaking season or something up there?
No, not really. We're not that mountainy that we have like kayaking really. Like if people want to do kayaking and rafting type stuff, they usually actually go to the Delaware River. So, which you guys are probably more familiar with over in Pennsylvania area. So, I mean, it's small. We're mountainy, but we're not like anything major. We do get more snow because of the elevation where we are a little bit higher. West Milford and Ringwood will, classically get a couple more inches than Bergen County will. I will say Ringwood's DPW is absolutely amazing. They clear, really fast. And I hear people who are moving to this area from other towns are like, oh, wow, you guys always dig out really fast. So that's nice.
Is there a hotel there? Like, do people visit?
Nope. No. We have no hotel, no conference center. There's very little business here. It's really, because of this Highlands preservation thing there, if it doesn't already have impervious surface on it, it's not going to be built ever. So, even if you have a lot of open land, and it might not be buildable, it might be wetlands on it, and they're very, very strict about even putting up new houses. Wow. So, and it's almost all single family. There's maybe a handful of 2-family houses in town. So not a lot. That's something, I don't know if that's going to have to change in years coming, just because there are a lot of retirees who want to stay, maybe live with their kids, maybe adding on, a second level with an apartment, something like that. But, that's for the town powers that be to decide. So
that's really interesting, because I always think of people just out of college and older people who want a little bit less or need a little bit less to take care of. So It's interesting that there's not really that option really there.
Yeah, no, it's very much the single family homes and quarter acre plus lots. There's several neighborhoods where it's 1 acre plus lots. We don't have, there's only one neighborhood in town that's maybe less than, it's probably 100 homes or so that actually have a city sewer hookup. And it's actually like a shared kind of community sewer. It's not really full on city sewer. So most of us are on septic. So I'm super, super well versed in what happens when you flush the toilet.
That's interesting because for us only, so like 45 minutes out of the cities where we would start getting into an area that might be septic and doesn't have public sewer, but everything else is public sewer.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish it was, because, most of the houses I'm selling are built in between 1950 to 1980. That's the most common, time frame over here. And a lot of them, the septics are that age. You got to kind of roll the dice and see if it's still going to be good or not.
Is your drinking water public water or well water?
Mostly public, but there's quite a bit of well also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thankfully we do have pipes run.
Yeah. Because you have a lot of water there.
And I'm sure you talked about this also.
We definitely talked about food.
But
we didn't talk about music.
So New York City's close, and
yeah, go to New York.
Yeah.
Any kind of, you're going to one of the places you're close to for most of the entertainment and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, the city, of course, New York City, there's just everything under the sun there. There's a really big mall / entertainment center in Nyack, New York, which is about 40 minutes away from us. And they have like a comedy club there so that you can see shows there. And then they've got like a huge like entertainment complex with like bumper cars, and there's a lot to do around this area. It's just not in Ringwood, but around the area, we've got all your, Top Golf and all the, fun stuff like that. So North Jersey is pretty densely populated, in general, North Jersey is pretty densely populated. So we've got a little bit of everything here.
Are there any properties you can buy in the state park? Like here we have Michaud State Forest, and there's not a lot, but there are some properties, and you actually don't buy it. You buy it, but you're actually just renting it on a 100-year lease or whatever. Do you have any of those kind of things in the state park or anywhere?
Not to my knowledge. Fun fact, my team name, the Skylands Real Estate Team, it's named after Skylands Manor, which is a really cool historic manor in our town. And we had a lot of the iron mines that had the iron that they used during the Revolutionary War for the ammunition and things like that. So kind of interesting. Our town hall also has this very strange wooden structure that everybody is always like, what on earth is that? It's this huge, like maybe 2-story tall, spiky wood thing. And what it is they were thrown down into the Hudson River to prevent ships from coming in. So they were like these big spiky things that would get you if you just.
Oh my goodness.
But we have one of them just right in front of our town hall, just ominously looking over the town, I guess. It's a strange, fun little fact, though.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They have another manor in our town called Ringwood Manor, and we take it. Yep, there it is. So if you can zoom a little more.
Can I?
There it is.
Oh my goodness.
Super interesting, right?
So it's like a little barb thing.
Yeah.
Or a big barb.
Yeah, it's big, but they would drop that in the water and it would slow those ships down, that's for sure.
I love like hearing like old history, things like that, like how they did things.
Yes. We have so much of that here. We have properties that were owned by the Cooper Hewitt family. So there's like a relationship there. The New Jersey Botanical Gardens is gorgeous to walk around, and that has Skylands Manor on it. And then Ringwood Manor. I took a really interesting tour at Ringwood Manor. That was the textiles tour. And they actually have all these old like chest of drawers. They took all of the garments out and put them on, dummies and things like that so that you could actually see the period dress of the time. It was super, super interesting.
That's really neat. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's very pretty. Yeah.
So the
Oh, I
fall
love-
looks like the fall is the bomb up there, possibly.
It is the best place for leaf peeping.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
get leaf peepers? There's no
We do.
commercial stuff,
Well,
so but
the
people just like go up and
crazy-
drive around or something.
Yes, the crazy traffic situation is one of the main roads that runs right through town. It's 511 is the number of it, but it changes names as you go from town to town to town. It's like it's Ringwood Ave, it's Wanacue Ave. Anyway, it goes from here to there, and that's the main road that people take if they're going apple picking. So literally every weekend in September, October, it's just very trafficy that way. So.
Is there one particular apple that's more popular?
The local places. I was actually just at a local orchard up in the Warwick area last weekend, and they actually right now have peaches and tomatoes and all kinds of like fruit and veggies, and then it'll switch over to the apples, and that they have a lot of Macintosh, and that's probably the most popular one, but the Honeycrisp ones, those are
I love those.
Growing window and a little more sensitive, I think, of an apple, but we love them. Usually try to go every year.
We're a Fuji family over here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, those are good too.
My girls love Fuji's and Pink Ladies.
Yes, Pink Ladies. Those are good.
Yes.
I don't know if they have those there because that's like one of those like newer breeds.
Yeah. Every time I like order it with my Aldi delivery, they're like, we're out. I'm like, again? Who's buying all the Pink Ladies?
Huh. I don't think I've ever had one. I assume they're sour only because of pink lemonade and associating it. And every time I look at them, for whatever reason, I'm just like, they're more sour type, and I don't want to try them.
I think they're kind of like a Fuji.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say they're kind of between a Fuji and a Honeycrisp because they're a little more sweet than a Fuji. Yeah. Those are usually to me like the white, a little drier, a little more tart, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway.
And did you know all apples, don't they all come from splicing, not from seeds or something, I think. Like if you plant an apple seed, it will be whatever it ends up being. Yeah. So all Fuji apples are splices from some original Fuji apple, not like a seed from a Fuji apple. I think people can, if you know, comment or research it and comment.
Let us know,
about
apple professionals.
Educate us.
Like I think that is. I could be wrong, but I think that's right. Anyhow, I don't know if there's anything we missed or not. Maybe we'll do another episode that works out better than this one, and I do apologize. But before we close it out, we do have one last question that has nothing to do with the place, but does have something to do with you. And I still didn't. I'm going to change it right this second. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
That's a good question. I think I wanted to be like a ballet dancer or like a rockette, like that seemed really glamorous to me. One of my dance teachers at my dance studio growing up was a rockette. So it was kind of like, we just idolized her. It was pretty neat. Yeah. So, but that was,
the kicks.
Yeah, exactly. but crazy thing, like because of all my overseas traveling and all of that stuff, I've had like all these weird different careers. So like I went to school at University of Delaware for hotel restaurant management, which I highly recommend as a major because it's really fun and you also get a really solid business background. So I went for that, and I worked as a catering sales consultant in New Orleans for a couple of years before we moved overseas. And then I didn't have work visas everywhere we went. And we moved so often that like my job was moving. Like I know, like I really empathize. Like that's one of the main things. Like my company really put me right into corporate relocation because I really understood it and could empathize with people. But anyway, throughout all my overseas moves, didn't have a work visa, but in China, I ended up writing a food article for a family magazine, and I had to like develop original recipes, and then got into the food photography side of things. And when I first moved back to the United States, I actually was a food stylist for a few really good projects. I worked for Walmart, Dannon, and Misty Copeland, the ballerina. I actually did the food styling for her book called Ballerina Body. So
wow.
If I could do anything else, it would be something very foodie like that. But I live a little bit too far from the city to go in at 4 a.m. for food shoots. And like, it's not that lucrative either. So that was the balance for me. It was money versus time, so I have a few local photographers that still call me every once in a while, but to help them with food stuff. But, real estate is where it's at for me now. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. But I always tell people what you go to college for and what you end up doing, you never know where life is going to take you, and all of your weird experience that you're like, why is this happening to me? Like, okay, it's going to serve a purpose someday.
Absolutely. Yeah. Who better to serve their people with moving than someone who moved all over the place?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yep. So.
Yeah, and you could be an IG cook, home photographer, home cook. Do you cook? Did you talk about that? I've missed the favorite food.
We did not talk about
you cook?
cooking.
I like to cook when I'm not under duress. like if I had all the time in the world and I could just create something, I would be so happy. But usually it's like such a chore, and I'm just trying to like get something done,
Yeah.
So I don't always love it necessarily, but we're big barbecue people. My husband actually, he's down in Texas working right now, and he's flying back and forth. So he's eating a lot of good barbecue. So he's taking notes for when he comes back up.
Nice. Work on those recipes then.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell everybody, and I feel like we almost have to have you back for another one at some point. But,
Technology redemption.
Yeah. Between now and then, if anybody needs to find you or reach out to you, what's the best way? They can find all the stuff on the screen right now. I'm not going to say it aloud. I don't know. There were a couple episodes where I like read it aloud, and I don't know why I'm doing that. Nobody's in the car, like stopping to write it down while they're listening on audio. So tell everybody what's the best way. Text you, email you, call you, IG.
Yeah.
What's the
Text
best?
Is always great because I can respond whenever, and pretty much on any social media you can find me under Skylands Real Estate Team. It has an S, Skylands with an S, Real Estate Team. And Instagram, YouTube, we have a nice base of videos actually about surrounding towns. So if you're curious to learn more about Ringwood and all the other towns in our area, we have a lot of lake videos and lifestyle videos. So check it out.
Awesome.
Yeah. And if you need to reach Krista or me in Harrisburg, Carlisle, Krista in Pittsburgh, or anybody anywhere in the world, if you're moving there or visiting there, we've got tons of contacts. Reach out to us. We'll hook you up with whatever you need. Thanks for watching and listening. Oh, I forgot. I had a whole bunch of sound effects queued up. I got to use at least one sound effect before we go out here. I had all kinds of stuff ready. We got, that's not
time.
That's what it should have been when I dropped out.
Yeah, no, we just kept rolling.
We'll go out with an air horn here. How about that? Thanks everybody for watching and listening. Say goodbye, ladies.
Bye.